Hey y'all, it's Anna V, and you, my friend, are listening to the All-American Wing Shooting Podcast. I am a hunter, conservationist, mom of 2 girls I have raised in the outdoors, and a proud owner of a truck full of dogs. My passion is guiding you to confidence, sharing in tradition, and celebrating the true meaning of success in the field. Here we go. Okay, everybody, we have a surprise today on the Sporting Lifestyle Legacy podcast. Hans joined us from Griffin and Howe. We're so excited to have you.
Good evening.
All right, well, just so you're getting thrown into these crazy conversations that Kevin and I have, he, is an encyclopedia of all things clays and wing shooting, and we just get him rolling, and we never know what secret he's going to give us or tip of wisdom. But because he's your mentor, that he is full of what he calls tribal knowledge.
Mm-hmm. You remember that.
So be sure to just give us all the tips that you get to experience with him, because you're with him every single day.
The really cool thing about Kevin is that it's not so much as tribal knowledge, it's the amount of time he's spent in the game and how much he's actually seen the game evolve from the wing shooting, the duck hunting, the competitive sporting clays, and he's been there from the beginning of our sport all the way it is now. That's where that tribal knowledge is invaluable.
Exactly. And so for all you guys listening, Hans is a full-time he's a full-time instructor, masterclass shooter at Griffin and Howe. And I've taken lessons from him. He put me through the ringer as I earned my way into the circle at Griffin and Howe. And it's so special to have that person in your life, because is there somebody in there with y'all? I think I lost y'all. Anyways, okay, so what Kevin has given you, which you and I have had these personal relationships because, or these personal conversations, because we just jumped right into the clay world and into the deep end of the pool. And so I had Demas, and I've talked about him so much on the podcast. People know how he's kind of brought me through from zero to hero, what felt like overnight. And the same exact thing happened with you, with Kevin coming into your life. And I think the story of having the right mentor is so powerful, because you have built an entire career off of a game.
Yeah, I have. I'm very lucky, very knock on wood, and a lot of people get to do that, right? And I'm thankful for it every day.
Yeah.
We live and work in a very special environment. Right? The big toy shop.
Yeah, but Hans didn't know exactly what gift he was getting when he accepted his job and then got to spend every single day with you.
Well, let me ask you something, Hans. Obviously when you first started, you got to back Hans up a little bit as far as what his background is, right? Mm-hmm. Family-owned restaurant, very strong, 35-year restaurant. You just don't hear about that, right?
Yeah.
From grandpa, right, all the kids down. And Hans made a big decision in his life to lead that industry, to follow a different pathway, right? So I think Hans could explain to you, he saw something here that would enable him to move in this direction. The pathway, the knowledge base and the equipment and the time. And I always say, God bless, I had a lot of opportunities in my life, and this was something Hans got a chance to, is experience some of those opportunities, like when we get pro shooters here.
Yeah.
You get a chance, go out this afternoon with Corey Cruz, right? And say, he's no different than me, man. He's a good guy, right?
He can shoot.
Or he can shoot, but you get out on the course and say, we're right there with him, doing different things, and Jesus, look at him, he misses too.
I think that.
Or Todd Hitches, or all these people that you see, the quote gun gods, right?
Yeah.
we get exposure to that because we're all in that kind of industry. So I think, for Hans, that's a huge benefit, kind of grounds you.
I
Wouldn't
think
you say?
the biggest advantage that I got here is that when you have someone in this industry that is a mentor that has actually made all the mistakes, not many people go from an unregistered shooter to master class in like 2 years.
Right.
Because I had the right people giving me the right knowledge.
Yes.
So I didn't make the mistakes that they did, right?
All the pitfalls.
All
right?
the pitfalls, all the traps.
Here, try this. Let's try that.
Right.
How about this? Here, this gun, that gun, this shot, right? And it was just like you heard it right
The first time.
from the first time, and you put your feet hit the ground, right? And you put the time in because nobody works harder than Hans, right? So I put the old saying, what you put in is what you get out, right?
Yeah.
So Hansi's a perfect example of that. He's a perfect example of that, But like we
My
are,
first day,
Hans and I are both here. We're the first ones in, and look where we are right now. Right?
still
We're the
here.
last ones out the door. So
You know what? Okay, I like that y'all brought that up. Sunday at church, we had a guest preacher, and he was talking about how to identify foes in your life, right? So, of course, he talked about Satan, which is the given, and he talked about the frenemies. Is it frenemies? The
Frenemies.
enemies, right? So the people
Frenemies.
that you think you can trust, but you can't. And he had scripture about how to deal with those situations. And then he talked about how we can get in our own way and become our own enemy. And it was really cool how he laid all this out in reflection of how 2025 went for us, right? And so then he said for 2026, our goal, especially like within our church and creating events and stuff, is to create relationships where you're surrounded by, and this is exactly what he said from the pulpit, people that show up first and leave last. And I just sat in church on Sunday and was like, I'm so grateful that I have those people across the country.
Right,
All because of our industry, because that's the mindset of a champion.
right, you understand the message that the preacher gave you, and it's really what going to church and listen to Bible study and listening to prayer like that. It is all basically giving you the mentor's talk of this is really how the world and the environment you want to be in. You want to be in that environment where everybody is positive charged, moving forward with the right attitude, not that I don't want to be here, everything is wrong. No negative. I don't want any of that around me.
And
none
the
of that.
other special thing about you guys, especially that you don't have a female on staff full time there in your office. And so when I came in to help host your females and give them more options for involvement through shooting activities, you guys, number one, I witnessed how there's no competition between all of y'all. You guys are so supportive of each other, and everyone on staff was so supportive of me coming in from an outsider that's not even like on staff full time. And that was so special. And that is because of the leadership and the quality of character of the people that are there.
Well, it's also
Good, thank you.
Yes.
That's nice that to hear that you recognize that out here. But some places revolve around a big pecking order, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that can get in the way, can't it?
It definitely gets in the way.
It can get in the way. People feeling insecure in their positions. No one wants to be in a position where they can't learn. And like I always say, I don't keep any secrets. No one's going to, if we're all moving together forward, I can continue to figure out real big problems. Like Hansi's figured out a lot. He's a good instructor now. He can figure out, he can teach. And then you got to get out on the ground and do it. And then you're ready for more information, and you start learning. So that's why he or she does that. I thought it was this, but it was actually that. Mm-hmm. It takes a half. The funny thing is, it takes a half a lifetime to figure out the other half, right? It takes a half a lifetime. So what like we always have, and you've seen this, we all get together and we sit together and we discuss things like a team meeting. Like, so I'll say I had this guy or I had this gal, and X, Y, and Z was happening. Well, I need to share my experiences with them, and they share theirs with me, because together we could probably figure it out, right?
Yeah.
But if you get hung up with that pecking order, it just makes the stink. You can smell the air, right? It's like the air don't smell good. I don't want.
All of y'all are winners. All of y'all have won big, big things, and I just think it's so cool that the respect is there, and it's not. There's no sense of competition that somebody ever feels left out, and it's tangible, and it flows through the whole club there. So, if you're listening, I would say not only would you want to go to Griffin and Howe for instruction because it's literally the best, but because there's no other place that you're going to find that culture that is going to elevate who you are, and not just your game, but you're going to leave there with a different, I think, view on the industry itself, because there's so many places to go and get jaded, but not there.
Right.
Not there. And the first time I came, you were slammed. And so you're like, okay, well, you're going out with Hans today. Hans is going to put you through the ringer. I'm like, yes, because I love training. Like, I just love being pushed. I think I would rather train than coach. It's just an addictive thing for me. And so he was going to just show me like everything that was there, because there's so much to offer on the clay course. And so I swear he's just as addictive to training as I am. So he was pushing me because it was pushing him. And it was just so fun. Probably, I felt like I'd shot 500 rounds.
So,
right?
so it
Pretty close.
right? It brings everybody to a higher level. But
Yeah.
here's something I want to double back on. I want to circle back on something. So
Okay.
we talked about this pecking order thing, right? And the knowledge base and everything. Let's take and apply this to what we always talk about. Wing shooting, being in the field with a group of people, letting it happen. Right? Like, who's the most experienced here? And just kind of listen. We always say you learn with these and not with this. So
Well, you're pointing at your ears and your eyes.
right, you learn with these and you learn
Yes.
with these, but you don't learn with this.
Yes, with
So
your mouth.
just sitting
For all
back-
you guys listening, yeah.
And get into that listen mode and just say, because natural people like us that love what we do, we just go into gear. Like, we
Right.
just put it in gear. What do I always say? I put it in gear and let the clutch out, right? And it just takes on a life of its own. So, and most high-end people, like the mentors that I've had the pleasure of working with, that took a shine to me and said, come here, kid, I'm going to show you something, always kind of acted like that. Like, it was never a set program. We went out, we did something, and that what we call tribal knowledge just came out.
Yeah.
Didn't have to put it in a format. It just, with the experience level, it just came out. So when we take young people shooting, when we take young people and get them involved in wing shooting, we talk about duck hunting and this is the kind of scenario whereas let them know how to do it. Just do what you do, and the knowledge is that people are going to have recognition that I'm going to listen to that guy because that sounds right, or I'm going to listen to her. And people need to learn. This is a great way how we all learned, of just like, watch that guy, watch that girl. There's something going on over there. I'm going to get me some of that, right? I'm going to get me a whole bunch of that, and then just listen. And then I might get the opportunity to ask that guy a question,
Right.
I think something really big that we have here, we're very unique within Griffin and Howe as a shooting academy, because we've got a head instructor that's been in the game for a long time. And then we have a core team of instructors below him. How many guys we got right now and gals? 30, 33 different team members.
So the whole team, yeah, it's like 33 people now. And we have different levels. So I got my core guys. I got Hans, Big John, and Pat. Those are my one-on-one They can handle any lesson, any discipline. They're my go guys. They can do every job. They're my top tier guys. Then I have another set that we're bringing up. So like when we bring, what I always look for when we put this little band of gypsies together, I always explain to people, I look for the personality. I'm looking for a certain personality that outgoing, eager to learn, the kind of person that you want to hang out with. Because I can put the content in. Does that make sense?
Oh
I
yeah.
can train and put the content in, but I need the basic structure of a good, solid person. And man, I love spending time with that guy. So that guy's going to be a home run. So we've got a couple of those. I call it, I don't know if I've ever told you this. I may have said this about grouse hunting. I call it the 10-3-1 rule. You know what the 10-3-1 rule is?
No, I don't think you've mentioned it on here.
Okay, so we're grouse hunting, right? 10 flushes, 3 shots, 1 kill. If you hunt grouse a lot, you'll say, that's pretty accurate. 10-3-1 rule, right?
10-3-1,
Or my team, right? Our team, and I always call it our team because it ain't about me. This is not about me. It's about these guys. Go through 10 people, 10 hires. You get 3. Like, man, these folks are good. And then there's one that's really special, like 10-3-1 rule. It's just this ratio that always seems to produce. And the more you look, you get that little trap shooting team. And there's 10 guys, and there's 10, there's 3, and there's 1 that really gets it. And that ratio is always stuck in my head, and it kind of fills through with just about everything you do. It's just one of those laws of nature, maybe. You know, one of the tribal rules, maybe. So,
well,
applying all this stuff, what we're talking about, to getting involved with, wing shooting, like we're talking about, whether it's you taking the ladies quail hunting or taking them duck hunting or something, for folks to get involved with someone like yourself, that's going to take them on the journey. And along the journey, you need to hear it from different people also. There's not one godly voice, there's a couple of there's only one, but you'll hear
one voice, but there's multiple gospels.
Yeah, there's different the way people describe it and say, that I understand the way he or she explained that. And I want you to use it. Like I always say to all my guys that I've ever hired and joined our team, man, you steal whatever you want. Anything I say, you're welcome to steal it, run with it, tell everybody you made it yourself. I don't care. If it works for you, run with it.
Oh, I cannot stop saying eyes first. It just simplifies everything. And I'm pretty sure that Hans started that with me before you did.
Where do you think I got it?
Yeah.
Eyes first. How can it not be eyes first? How do the hands know what to do if the eyes don't give them a direction?
Right? And
I don't care what game you play. How do you cast, right? Think of a fishing pole. How do you cast a pole without looking where you want? Well, I'm going to say some people maybe just throw it, but you have to look. Where the fish is under that bush. You cast it. It's eyes first. The whole world is eyes first.
Well, that day that Hans took me through the ringer, we did everything. We shot the course, we shot driven birds, we did all this, but I did not know about Annie Oakley in the afternoon, right? So I had a 4-hour lesson with him, and he wasn't like leisure. He was like, get it. And I'm like, okay. And his eyes just got this big. So, and it was so much fun, and we were just on a roll. So then I went and met the ladies for the first time for lunch, and it was so much fun, right? I didn't know that they were used to going to Annie Oakley. I thought I was just going to go hang out with the ladies on the course. So they're like, nope, we're going to Annie Oakley. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was so tired shooting. Like, he got my back. And I don't know that anybody's even slowed down enough to even talk about this, but it was my first time shooting Annie Oakley, and it was, well, it's not like an actual real trap game, but I don't ever spend time at a trap field. We don't even have a trap field at the club that I shoot at, either one of them. So Lord, I got to where my gun felt like it was 100 pounds, and he was literally handing me shells and the hot ones. He was like, God, she needs all the help she can get. And he brought
But
me
then
I
a
think
Well-
you won twice that day, didn't you?
Yeah, I know once, but you helped me, and it was so awesome because it was like instant camaraderie. That, I mean, yes, of course I love winning. Y'all know I love winning, but really the goal with, or like the moral of this story was, we bonded that morning in the trenches, and you had my back in the afternoon, and that's huge, especially for this game, because we all talk about tradition and just carrying the torch for the next generation. And so I just haven't ever got to really thank you for being there for me.
There you go. So Anna, how important, the statement that you just made, how important is that for us to share that with new people coming in our sport?
Yes.
And that's
I
the
felt
first thing.
so
That's the
welcome.
first thing we want them to understand is this is how we're all treating each other.
Yeah.
And you are welcome to come with us. We don't have this. You can't play with us. We're too cool.
Yeah.
We want all the cool kids to come and play with us. And that's a nice way of explaining it. The way you came out, you felt that right away.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, why wouldn't we open and enter you into their sandbox? Like come
Right.
on in. The water's fine.
Well,
And
I just
that's what
think
we
it's
wanna
such a
make- we
great
wanna make that
standard
point.
for people to
We wanna
hear.
make
Number
that
one, this
point.
really does exist. This type of culture exists, and it's successful. It creates legacy. It continues legacy. I mean, who has built more legacy than Griffin and Howe in the gun world in the United States? I don't know.
You know
I
what
don't
we
know
say,
anybody
right?
to trump this,
Makes
right?
you want to come back.
And this is why. And Hans, you're such a great surprise today, because I don't think that we can share this message enough for.
And I had to pull him kicking and yeah, he was like, "Oh, I don't want." I said, "No, you're going viral now."
Yeah, I'm not
You're
much
going
of a
big.
talker.
But now we're gonna do more of this, right?
So
All good.
you've put a couple of guns in my hands for the first time, because you're like, try this, and that was so fun, because that's experience that I never paused long enough to take time to have, and that helps me communicate with clients better because I've had those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So you bring a lot of value that I don't think that you even realize.
So he took you, he kept you in your comfort zone, but he also took you away from something that you're very used to. Like, here's my gun, this is what I shoot, but I want to introduce you to a new friend and a new friend and a new friend. Like, I had no idea I'd like to shoot this type of this side by side or this over and under. I said, I had no idea it would feel this good. I thought they were too heavy or too this.
We talk about effective coaching, right? Effective
Yep.
coaching is, this is how much room we're going to work with today. We're going to add that much more to the front. It's not 5 chapters in. You don't start in Revelations. You start in Genesis. So it's little bit incremental at a time is the right way. I wasn't going to go out there and give you a 34-inch trap gun to shoot Annie Oakley. Stay within your comfort game.
Yeah, I was like, I'm a wing shooter these days, but it was so fun to take a trip down memory lane, and
That's good.
and we got on Driven Birds, and I didn't realize how much I would love that, and look forward to hosting ladies on Driven Birds, and the whole because we talked about the whole tradition of that, which is completely different than what we do here in the States, or here even in the South, with the quail plantations.
I feel like the wing shooting is the hardest part of the game to master, because if you're doing it properly, you're working with your dog, you're working with your gun, you're working with everything in sync. And
Right.
I've been very fortunate that I've hunted with Kevin, and the way you can manage your dog and your gun and the collar and the whistle,
Right, 'cause
and trying to shoot birds at the same time,
unpredictable flight lines, right?
right? And
So
that's
eyes first, right? Because we don't know where the bird's going to fly.
Hey,
Got a
start
dog,
speaking my language.
right? You got a dog. We're dog handlers.
Yep.
We're controlling our environment. The surroundings. We might have 1 or 2 new people. You have to be aware of where everybody is. So we say, hey, we're getting into where this
Safety.
bird.
That was my game.
So it's
I don't
like,
know if Hans knows that, But that was my game. That's what I competed in. I loved the dogs more than I loved clays. So as soon as I felt like I had conquered something in the clay world, I bailed and I ran dogs and competitively hunted. So it was on the clock in a field with a certain amount of planted birds, and I ran dogs, the pointer side and the flushing side. And you never know. There could have been a barn there. There could have been an old car there. You know, there's a gallery at the front where everybody's watching the field. There's all types of safeties, and you've got to be able to manage all of that. And so it's like hunting on steroids for trophies and money, which some people may think is crazy, but I thought it was super fun.
Yeah, we do a little thing here at the farm. This will start soon. They do the quail challenge.
The Chucker Challenge.
Yes.
Chucker challenge.
Chucker challenge.
You know, the Chucker
Yes.
challenge. So they
That's
put out
what
same
I
thing
did.
like you're saying. Maybe me and Hans will take Moses out and we'll do it, right? And they put out, let's see, is it 20 birds?
It's 10 chuckers,
10
and it's the
chuckers.
most chuckers shot with the least amount of shells
Right.
used.
Shell ratio. So if we kill
Don't need to call me.
10
My
chuckers
dogs
with
are
10
ready.
shots,
That's a pretty good score.
that's a pretty
Y'all
good
don't
score.
have a timed on it?
Yeah, you get to pass through the field once. I don't
Okay,
think you
okay,
get any
'cause ours was the
redos.
quickest amount of time, most birds bagged, least shells shot.
Right. So it can get a little chaotic and it can be fun
It's so fun.
and a little bit of
Yeah,
bragging
fun.
rights, right? You
I
get a
live
little bit
for
of
that.
bragging rights. So dog can have a good day, dog can have a medium day, but typically the dog does better than the guns.
So
Dog
did your
usually
members
shines
come?
better than the guns.
Like
So
all the members come in and bring their personal dogs and compete with them?
they do.
Yep. You
And
can also supply a dog for a couple guys as well.
yeah,
For
what do they do that for 2 months?
2 months.
Yeah, it's about a 2 month series. You know, you can do it at your leisure. You know, you pick a good day where the weather's good, and like I said, throw your hat in the ring. They
Yes.
go over, they set you up, and it's a lot
I'll
of fun.
drive all the way there with littles. Me and Hans will take it all.
There you go. You guys team up, and you beat
You
terrorists.
try.
You beat terrorists. So SCI is around the corner.
Yes, I was emailing Steve about it earlier because I am pumped. I am so excited about the plans that we have. You know, not only do we have these great events scheduled for the ladies of Hudson Farm, but it's so important for me since, you know, I have built all these relationships across the country that I share how special Griffin and Howe is. And I'm like, I am setting dates and booking places. We're going to set up a little station in the booth. We're going to have ladies come in. We're going to sign them up to come and visit and take shooting lessons and understand about the artistry of the guns. I just think that nobody does it like you guys in the gun shop. I know that when I have brought ladies there, the gunsmithing is such a highlight. They don't know how special it is until they leave, and they really see the artistry of what happens in the basement.
Yep.
So yeah, I look forward to, you know, just bringing up more ladies that maybe are interested in the industry and interested in getting involved, because I just think it's the best place, which you guys saw firsthand. Hans gave instruction with.
So I had that group of women out, and
Yeah.
I think what makes us really unique here is we actually have the tools in our academy. We've got how many ladies guns back there right now? Six
Yeah, we're up to six,
or seven ladies
That all-
only shotguns.
left-handed and right-handed, right?
Yep.
So 20 gauge, 12 gauge, we can
Adjustable
accommodate.
combs.
And then we have a couple of little sub-gauge guns that
Yep.
we can jury rig out, that we can adjust the comb on, that aren't bent over too much, 28. So that's the key thing. And that's, I think, one of the big challenges is when the ladies do want to get involved, they never really get the right equipment in their hands in the beginning. So they're
Exactly.
always,
Know how successful they could be.
yeah, and it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference.
It's a huge
Anne-Marie got a
difference.
shotgun. She got a silver pigeon, and it works fantastic for her. She was able to shoot it at Nashville Gun Club before she was surprised with it. And so I will tell you that out of all the ladies that came, I think that she was probably the MVP because she came. First of all, she'd never been to a gun club before, and second of all, like, she'd never been on a ladies trip like that. And you guys made it where she said, I don't ever want to miss the opportunity to come. And so I thank you guys for taking my clients in there and loving them like your own. And she's hooked. She said she is never going to get left home again.
Something that we definitely need more of in the industry, if I was going to pick on somebody,
Yes.
is we don't have enough ladies waterfowl guns. They make straight semi-automatics, but they don't have enough dimensions for them.
They don't address the issue of, the slight Monte Carlo, kicking the toe out, bringing the comb up a little bit, have the ability to raise the comb up so she can see over the semi, so she's not getting banged up. If any of the manufacturers are listening, right, which they do, chirp, chirp, we're the bird in your ear, right? Chirp, chirp.
We just need to start planning enough ladies duck hunting camps, like how-tos, to where we prove that the numbers are there to sell the guns.
Right. And that's exactly what it needs. So here, I got a plan for you.
Okay.
Once the weather breaks and you get yourself up here, let's do one of these in my duck blind.
Yes, I'm there.
Because I have a duck blind now.
Yes, I'm so excited. I've seen the post. I shared them. I think it's so cool. I love what you did with DU. Can't wait for the videos to get posted that they did, because I know did they do one episode or did they do a series?
So they did one episode with it, and then we kicked back and we did like 6 little snippets, those little 30-second snippets that you can interject in a different show. They try to have I think it's a 12-minute segment on the first half of the show, and then they put little segments in it, and then 12 minutes in the afternoon. So we did like 6 of these little shooting tips that they can fill in, not necessarily in the one particular show, but they will cross the boards into other
commercials.
Other programs.
That's awesome.
So we gave them a lot of content. Some of that Instagram, you got to keep it under 30 seconds, otherwise people just. You miss the mark, you lose the room, they just hit the button and move to the next one. So, and we'll continue to do that. I think you and I should do a few of those too. With this guy.
Yes.
Yes.
Come into my world. Come into my world. I would love to go hunting with you. That would be so fun. So I want to hear, because we started here, but we didn't get to finish. What's it been like for you to come in, knowing that you were out, one of the top clubs in the country, and know that like you've become this very accomplished shooter and an instructor in demand. Like if we would have told you that when you like your first day on the job, you probably wouldn't have believed that you would have come this far so fast, right? So like I want to hear about that journey.
They gotta be talking about you.
No,
I'm talking about you.
Well, I had a very different journey compared to a lot of different places, right? So I originally started here as a part-time trapper helping out for charity tournaments, and I've always been a pheasant shooter until Kevin straightened my ass out. I think my first lesson here, I was left eye closed, beat on bird kind of shooter, and you said to me, if you do that again, I'm going to hit you with this stick. So
a stick again.
A stick. So he straightened my ass out. The biggest journey that I think for me that I have learned here is that it's a team mentality. My growing up as a bird shooter, it was, oh, I got one. And it's not that way anymore. Shooting with Kevin, shooting with Pat, we'd go out, we'd kill 6 birds, 6 pheasants, and say, hey, guys, we all got birds today. It didn't matter who shot them.
Yeah,
right.
And that is the biggest part for me of the journey that I think is the most important. I started in a restaurant. My family owns a restaurant about 10 minutes from here. I did that professionally for 15 years. And then over COVID, the restaurant got shut down for 8 months. So I wanted to make a switch. I didn't want to see the same 4 walls anymore. And Griffin and Howe offered me a position here when there wasn't work anywhere, which is why I'm very deep in gratitude for this company. I did not originally start out as a competitive shooter. My competitive shooting, I've only been, 2 years now? 2.5 years.
2.5. Where it really came together, where you started getting a little traction.
And I started out as just a part-time instructor helping out for charity tournaments, and it just kind of took off. We got very busy here. Competitive shooting, I don't think my journey is anywhere close to done yet. I don't think I'm as accomplished as I want to be, and I have to put a lot more work into that to be better. You know, I need to change who I am to become who I want to be. You know, I haven't accomplished a tenth of what Kevin has done or Pat has done or John, but I've had a lot of good mentors at the right time to get me as far as I have in the little time that I have been competitively shooting. I've been wing shooting a lot longer than anything else. My dad took me out when I was 6 years old with our German short hair pointer. I remember that, and I had a little 410 Browning that I started with.
That you still have.
I still have it.
Right?
Because you got a little one.
I think you saw that last time you were here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't think the journey's over yet. I have not been in the game long enough to.
Yeah, kind of.
Really do that.
This lifestyle kind of takes on a life of its own. It's kind of like, you know, throw your hat in the ring and get involved, and all of a sudden you'll start to enjoy a different discipline. Like we have a Halise field, okay. ZZ
I
Boats
could
here.
really sell out to that.
Right. So one day you come up and we get involved with that, and you shoot that for 2 hours, and you say to yourself, why don't we do this twice a week? You know, trap shoot. It's just, you never know what discipline you're going to excel in, or that's going to catch because let's face it, we're all adrenaline junkies, right?
Yeah.
We're all, whether you want to admit it or not, we're all adrenaline junkies. We're not sitting at a desk with a pencil. We're outside. I mean, right now, it's probably today the average. What did it get to 26 degrees today?
21 with 35-mile-an-hour
With 30, right on this side of the hill, it was 30-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, the bird comes out here and it goes that way.
Right.
You know, there really has to be something wrong with you to want to go out there and shoot that.
I know. I'm jealous.
You know, we have job to do. We want to show people that, you know, it can be done. You know, I'm a little kinder. I bring them to the other side of the hill. I had 2 gun fits today, but we had to be out there a couple times, and we got a substantial. You and me, the whole team got a substantial amount of work done in a situation with the climate as rough as it is. You know, we're talking. It's the turn of the year. Most people are home thinking about what they're going to do tomorrow night, right? And
you know, this is the time of year to actually, okay, we need to go and practice for the upcoming tournament season. This is the time of year to refine your game.
Right. Change this, change that.
shooter.
You know, try out that new set of chokes. I said, okay,
Yeah.
change the length of your gun, or move to the new gun. Make the commitment, just like anybody, any professional athlete.
Important is that people need to understand the reps they need to put in when they make a change. It might be the change for the better, but you may not see the instant result for the consistency of the expectation.
Now is the time of year to implement those kind of changes.
It takes, what would you say, 5,000 to 7,000 rounds to learn your gun.
Oh, without
the
a
way
doubt.
it should.
To get a relationship with it, so that you feel so confident. You got to build a relationship with it. Absolutely. You know, to shoot at a higher level. Absolutely.
Yep.
You know, and now's the time to start the process, right? When we come in after, you know, I don't really think about clays like after Thanksgiving. You know, we've been to North Dakota. We've done a lot of trips. We've shot, you know, we've been wing shooting. We've hunted a lot over the dog. And then this time, Christmas time comes and New Year's comes, and then all of a sudden the new year starts. This is what starts generating the new thoughts of, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then, you know, you buy the new gear, or you've had it waiting, and now it's time to do the big switch, and then the commitment. And that's the key thing, is make the commitment. And we said, what, the directive affirmation, right? Make a plan and execute it. Don't just say you're going to do it. Now's the time to make the plan and execute the plan. Directive affirmation.
I've got a few flats sitting on the stairs that I'm feeling conviction about. I'm like, okay, I have no excuse. That ammo is there waiting to be toted out the door.
Right. It's not going to, or as you say, it's not going to shoot itself. Right. So you come up with
I
it. You
still
come
have a
up with
gun
a.
problem. I still have my gun problem from our last podcast. I did exactly what you told me to do, and either I'm not strong enough or it didn't work. And so I don't know if I
It's
might have a
probably
little
you're not
quirk.
putting enough pressure on it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
What's the gun problem?
So you've seen me do this before. People take their gun apart, especially a lot of side by sides. They drop the hammer, click, click, and
I
now they
think it
can't get
only
the
got
barrel.
dropped once because it doesn't matter.
Right. She dropped one hammer and not the other. So one leaf is cocked and one is not. You can't get the barrel. A lot of guns cock
Yeah,
on
you
the
can't get them back together.
you cock on the close. So you can't close the gun. You can't put it back together. So you have to simulate the barrels cocking the gun. So I said, get the edge of the table, right? Put that lever up on it. You really have to lean into it to cock that hammer. And she didn't manage to be able to get that done, but that's what's required. And
Well,
that's
now
for
I feel
guns to
sick because y'all are sitting here telling me what I already know, and I feel paralyzed.
Are you hunting quail down there this time of year?
I'm not yet, but we are talking about an upcoming trip to South Carolina. And y'all, I just got the coolest email that I woke up to today, where by the end of the conversation, it sounds like I might be going next week to one of my favorite places called Otter Creek in Alabama. So
there you go. I mean,
yeah, you want to join?
I was going to say, why don't you go down there and hunt with them and
Yeah,
get the gun for her?
yeah,
Whichever
come
one of
down.
you can fix my gun, you're welcome.
Why don't we come down and first fix your gun and then hunt over dogs for 2 days? This is the time of year. I'll tell you, Anna. This is the time of year where a lot of the folks up here north start thinking about coming down south because it's a little warmer. There's some really good gunning from the month of January and February.
Yes.
Alabama, Georgia, all through the southern states. You've got some beautiful South Carolina. You got some, it's beautiful 60-degree weather, maybe 40 at night, 60 in the day, light shirt, hunting over pointers, man. Who needs the snow? We're gonna hunt in some snow. We're gonna hunt over Moses. We're gonna get some roosters, but the appeal of going quail hunting, right, is pretty strong.
Do you want to know what I dream about? Because it's not necessarily that, although I love the culture of the plantation world. I love goose hunting. I love goose hunting. And until I wuss out with the weather, I just want to be out there.
Again, right? A lot of people come in are the snowies, right? Snow goose, and we get Canadians. So that is a common thing to do in January because our season goes through March.
Yes.
So there's another opportunity that people can get involved in. They don't need a boat, right? They need to pick up a couple of decoys, knock on the farmer's door, ask permission, share some birds with them. Easy to get involved. Hell, you see a bunch of people out in the field.
And it's such a big team sport.
Oh, big
Getting all the decoys out, setting up the blinds,
Yeah, it's not.
landing in the right way, doing the right cover.
Yeah, it's not a solitude. It's not a solitary sport. It's absolutely the biggest fun of that is getting a good sized group, 6, 8 people together, help putting out the decoys, and then having fun trying to hide all those people. But
Yes.
look, when you have 30, 50 Canadians come in, that's a lot of fun. That's a lot
It
of fun.
is so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like. But it's only, you always want what you don't have. And I'm sitting here in Georgia thinking about geese.
Right. And that's not a strong point, right, in Georgia. That's not a.
So, Georgia, you guys have the migration for ducks, though, right, down there? You probably have
you get
great
lucky.
duck hunting this time of year.
Duck hunting. I went to Honey Break. And we do have opportunity to get into some wood duck holes. We just haven't had the time. It's been a very busy season for us, but we have a few weeks left if we can squeeze it in, unless I go to Alabama. It's just hard. Like, this year's just been a tough one. I was fortunate enough to get to do nothing but hunt for years. And then this year, life was just kind of like, okay, you need to get caught up on
Oh,
responsibility.
a touch of reality struck, huh?
Yeah, so it's been one of those years. But, it was so fun. Tater, she sold out to the clay game and she had a lot of success her first year. So then she caught the bug. So there was just a lot of extra juggling, and there's a season for everything. So,
Yep, there
we got a
absolutely
puppy.
is.
We got a dog that's her dad's really well known at SRS. Her mom's big HRC dog. So, getting her started right and stuff, that was a big priority for me as well. So I did haul her to Honey Break, but yeah, so I've been working with her, and Bougie ended up being a handful.
Mm-hmm.
Got a new dog, right?
Now, have you caught the dog bug yet? Because everybody up there has got their dog with them.
I have not. I don't have a gun dog yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. My gun dog is hairless, and her name's Aurora, and she's 4.
So there you go.
That's where all my time is going right now.
Yeah, but the kennel there is so nice. Griffin and Howe, if you don't know, they have a new kennel, and they're having litters, and I would just be so tempted to be over there every once in a while.
Griffin and Howe gun dogs.
Yep.
Yep.
Garrison's really doing a great job, I'm
growing
sure.
leaps and bounds. So
yes.
I think I would say, to kind of wrap it up, you mentioned about the seasons, and we talk about, moving through the season. The cool thing is the outdoor season never really ends. It transforms with the weather. It's in the summertime. Yes, we're clay shooting, training the dogs early in the morning, but we like our clays, right? As the fall arrives, we start thinking about going upland, right? Later, when it gets really cold, we start thinking about waterfowl, right? And here we're talking about, well, we could go goose hunting, or you have to travel a little bit where the environment's a little bit different, right? We've talked about this in the past, where you folks all have something different to offer down south. The dove hunting, where we have something very different up north. So that's what gets us traveling, right? That's why I have a pickup truck and not a little sedan hatchback, right? And that's why I have a cab. And that's why I don't mind driving, right? And it's just, look, we're going to leave at 4:00. We'll be there by midnight. And so it creates a whole lifestyle that just perpetuates itself through the next season and the next season. And the seasons just roll into it. It's not just one time of year.
No, it's not. And I have a dog just begging to get in my lap. She hears you talking, and she's like, "Kevin's on to something, Mom. Are you paying attention?"
Right?
It's so funny that you say that. I'm an only child. So, I don't really have like another sibling to bounce personalities off of, right? And nobody in my family has ever had gun dogs before. And so when I got into it, I got my first short hair, I was absolutely addicted. At one point of time, I had 6 short hairs of my own, plus, I had client dogs. And so I just remember my mom, like forever, people would say, well, where's Anna? She's like, I don't know, somewhere off with those dogs. I'm like living my best life. And when I wanted to come home and start a kennel, because we live at the most perfect place to raise retrievers, especially. And she still to this day is like, why would you want to have a life where you can't do nothing else? You can't do nothing else. You can't ever leave those dogs. And I was like, for the last time, there is nothing else I want to do. Like, I am so happy sitting in my kennel, cleaning up after my dogs. And we listen to the radio, and we just have like jam sessions, and I just love them. Like,
yep. Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
I don't know. Like, there's nothing else that I want to do. I literally get up every single day trying to figure out how to do more of the same exact thing. And
exactly. Yep.
We got Tater back in homeschool because I'm like, ain't nothing stopping me from making the most memories with my kids while they're home.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that the hard way. JC grew up and she moved out of the house and she's getting married. And I'm like, man, I wish I could get that time back. And then I think, well, gosh, I gave 7 hours a day to public education. And I realize it's not for everybody, but for me, I'm like, we're doing Liberty Online and we're going to hit the road again. And we're going to get as many hunting memories as we can, or shooting if she wants to shoot clays all over. I cannot wait for her to get lessons with y'all. I cannot wait. I'm like, you're going to be a rock star, because we know all the people to make you a rock star. And she loves it. And if she wants to do the work, then I'm going to put in my share of time so that we can spend more time together.
Yeah.
I love it. I do love
Sounds
it.
like a good recipe. Right? Make a plan and execute, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can talk all you want, but you got to make a plan and execute. So,
All right. So, Hans, you now have made your debut. You're going to have to fill in for Kevin sometimes, where you have to hold the whole conversation.
that's
I'll
right.
be a little more prepared next time.
Hey, we wing it all the time. That's the nature of the beast, right?
That's it. We just come right along, and it just kind of has a way of flowing. So,
I do look forward to hearing about all the things that are going on, your hunting adventures. Kevin always keeps us updated, especially like when he and Pat go to North Dakota and all the fun things going on in the office and around the clay course. We love hearing about it, and I can't wait to see you guys soon.
okay. Well, listen, you guys be safe. And until next time, it's a
Thank
good
you all
one.
for listening.
You bet.
See you soon.
Dawn's finally breaking as I leave this sleepy town. The sun is slowly rising and the fog is on the ground.